Welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in to take a look at me complete these labs. And also thank you if you watched the last lab we went over, which was configuring, verifying, and troubleshooting the GRE tunnel connectivity. That was so much fun. We're going to have even more fun on this one where we'll be implementing OpenPGP. We have a few outcomes that we want to get from these exercises. We're going to install some PGP, certificate creation and distribution, some signing and importation, also some OpenPGP verification, encryption, and decryption as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the first task. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to, of course, install OpenPGP. Now, it's becoming one of the most important and respected methods of encrypting information, right? Especially when it comes to email. So OpenGPG, which is pretty good privacy, right? But pretty good privacy. It comes with the complete method of application and the Win4 GPG. So the tools provided help to perform the certificate creation, encryption, and decryption with Outlook plugins automatically installed. We'll see here in a second. So first, as I mentioned, we're going to download GPG for Win. We're going to do that with a few tasks here. So let's actually open up Internet Explorer. Then we're actually going to take a look here. Your downloads, and I actually want to change where my downloads go. I want them to go to my local drive C. I'll click OK here. Okay, and I want to download here. Let's see. There we go. Pretty good privacy. And then we want to save it. We want to close this out here, right? So now that I've successfully downloaded it, right, let me close the server manager here. All right, so I'm going to use the PowerShell to set up some shares, right? So just going to create a shared folder from this particular server, S02, and it's going to connect to S01, right? This server here, right? So to transfer the program that I've downloaded here, so it can still be available on the other one, even though I haven't technically downloaded it there. So let's actually open up PowerShell to do this. We're going to run it as the administrator, of course, and then we're going to enter in this command to open it up. Now we want a new item. Okay. And we want to create a shared folder for us in that particular disk drive. And we don't need anything in path 1, but we want the directory for the type, right? So now I'm going to enter, to view the new directory, I'm just going to enter this here. Now we can see everything here as far as the last write time, the mode, as far as like there's a few that's readable modes. All right, so now I'm just going to want it to be shared. So let's put this here, this command. C drive. All right, and also I want to note that this is going to be the last video I do without camera. I love you guys being able to see my pretty face along with my pretty voice on camera. So I'm going to make sure that going forward, I'll be on camera going forward. So I'm actually going to close this up, share successfully. Let's close this out. Let's open this up. All right, so now I have to move, let's see, where is it? I have to move this over to the shared folder. So let's go ahead and cut this out, then paste it, of course, right? So there we go. As we can see, it's no longer here and it's located here. So now I'm going to actually perform the installation on the GPG4 Win. So, right. So to do this, I'm actually going to swivel over here. And I'm actually going to, let's see, oh, looks like it doesn't want to work today. Should have called in if it didn't want to work. All right, so we're going to, let's see, I'm going to go here. We want to open the CLI or the command prompt. Of course, we're going to run this as the administrator. And we want to do a few things here. First, we're going to say, hey, look at me. I want to go here and I want to enable something. What do I want to enable? The feature. All right. And then feature name. What is it? It is net fx3 all. Okay. So now the enabling feature process, sometimes it can take a few minutes. Sometimes it can be pretty quick. I'm just waiting for the 66 point, whatever number it's currently at, to be at 100%. Oh, it looks like the file cannot download. Let's go ahead and get that fixed. All right, so we've gotten it taken care of. Now it's the operation completed successfully for our deployment image servicing and managing tool. So now we're able to actually, let's head over to File Explorer, and then let's actually end here. I'm gonna type something in here. Let's see. Because now what I want to start doing is beginning to get into our shared folder. There it is. All right, and of course we need to begin the install. I like to speak English, so we need to check that off. That's good. I want it on my desktop so it's easy access. And this is good, so we can install. Should take just a few moments. Definitely one of the quicker installs, at least in this particular lab here. I'm gonna minimize this. All right, perfect. So now we can move on to our next exercise now that we have installed OpenPGP. Now we're going to do some certificate creation and distribution. Now the OpenPGP certificates have public key technology behind them, and the idea is that there is nothing secretive about the method, right? Which adds to the fact that it has been tested countless times by the public for weaknesses. So it hasn't been broken. Essentially, there's two keys. One is secret and held by the creator. The other is public, meant for distribution to anyone who wishes to communicate privately with the creator. Now, there are methods of key distribution regarding the obvious and emailing the public key to the recipient for correspondence, right? Uploading to a certificate server or simply handing the key over to a portable media like a USB device, right? So what we're going to do first to begin this demonstration is creating a certificate. So we're going to start here, and let me actually open up our application Kleopatra so you can actually start doing that, right? And of course, we want a new certificate, right? Because we're creating one, so naturally, key pair, right? So we want administrator, if I could spell it. Um, Perfecto. All right, so let's take a look at our advanced settings here. Actually, so just a review of the details here. So the RSA bit values can be changed if more secure levels of encryption are required, and we can actually choose the bit values from the drop down here, right? So furthermore, we can also apply the certificate authentication to specify more certificate expiration dates as additional options as well. Just wanted to put that out there, but we can actually cancel this out. Just wanted to speak on that because we're going to accept the default. So just going to go to the next screen here. Let's take a look at some of the details. Let's see. All right, not too bad. So the key is RSA of the 2048-bit value, which we saw on the prior screen, and it will be used to encrypt the signed certificate. So let's go ahead and create that key. And our passphrase, just going to enter that in here. May not be, maybe like 80. Yep, that's what I figured, 80%. All right, perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, so let's go ahead and make a backup actually of our key pair, right? And we want our file to be where we like it to be. Let's see. I'm also going to make, after I place this in, I want to talk about a point of doing this, right? Let me actually put this. So successfully exported. I love it. So now we have a backup. Now this is only for demonstration purposes as far as the output file text, right? I just put in for the secret keys PGP. In a production environment, a specific folder with user access restriction and encryption would actually be configured. So I just wanted to bring that up as well. So now that we have our backup key pair, right? I'm just going to hit finish here. right? So now we see the certificate is now created. So now we're going to actually do some certificate inspection. So I'm going to briefly review the certificate information and then do a few other things as far as taking a look at the details. So let's actually double click here and we can view some information regarding the user identity and whom the certificate belongs to, right? And when it's valid from and when it expires. In our case, the certificate, of course, will never expire. Now, excuse me. Now we can confirm also, as far as the bit encryption that it has, and it'll be what it would be used for, things of that nature, right? As far as like signing emails, files, encrypting email files, and things of that nature, right? And each certificate comes with a fingerprint, which is used to confirm the identity of a person in a group and the certificate itself. I'm actually going to close this out. Just wanted to showcase the details of how we can take a look at the details of certificates, whether they're newly created or they've been there for a while, if we have access to do so. So now we're just going to distribute some public certificates. So certificates can be distributed via email, through servers, or via USB, as I mentioned earlier, to different folks who may need to maintain in secure contact with you, right? So to do this, and actually just want a brief tidbit as well, this is actually broken down. If you want to take a look, Edward Snowden had mentioned this when he had actually leaked the government documents. He had mentioned something, maybe not this exact example of what we're doing, but it was the same vein of how he wanted things to be encrypted when he had communication with journalists rather, for linking the documentation that he had. So, so now we're actually going to take a look at exporting. I want to make this sure this is highlighted. We're actually going to export some certificates. All right, and let's see. We want to go to desktop. I'm going to save it here. All right, and we see the first certificate, A7A. All right, so we're actually going to, let's minimize this. And we're going to open this with Notepad, of course. Let's see, more options. Perfect. All right, so now we see the certificate in the Notepad. This is just the certificate for the public key, right? So I'm actually just wanted to see that. Now you see end of, PGP public key block, into that nature. So we have that here. I'm actually going to take a look at Outlook. We're going to send an email. Let's see, let's open this up. Where's Outlook? There it is. How you doing, buddy? All right, perfect. I thought it was going to take a while to load, but it looks like it didn't. So let's actually go ahead and open up a new email. That's not it. There it is. This guy here. All right, perfect. So I'm going to send it to someone named Lisa Scott. Maybe the sister of Michael Scott. If you know, you know. Okay. Perfect. Now, actually, let me do this here. Check her name. There it is. All right, perfect. So now the name is resolved to just Lisa Scott. So now we're going to attach a file. And you should know what file we're going to look at, which is our key here. Let's insert. Perfect. So now the certificate, got a security alert. Come on. Yes, we do. All right. It's now attached to the attached text box, right? So I'm just going to type this into the body. Hey, Lisa, please see the attached. Someone like me would be paranoid. So unless they were telling me they were sending me an email like this, I would be paranoid and not open it. Administrator. All right, perfect. So we need a subject, of course. We don't want to look like we're phishing. So that's PGP. My guy. All right, perfect. So let's hit send. All right, so let's take a look at the sent items, make sure that it has been sent. Yes, it has. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to move on to our next exercise, which is OpenPGP signing in and importation, right? So it can be used, as we just saw with the details of the certificate that was created, It can be used for signing emails to effectively place a unique signature on the email to help with verification of the sender, but also of the actual certificate itself. So the act of signing is effectively a digital signature. So the idea is to have the message readable to everyone, but the clever part is checking whether the message has been changed by someone other than the author of the email. Thereby, it helps us to thwart man-in-the-middle attacks and maintain the message integrity. Now, when you're working for a large business, right, there's going to be multiple employees who have their own certificates naturally, right? What Kleopatra does is helps us to organize and provide a database of those certificates, which greatly assists when writing emails to different members of the staff. So also, Kleopatra automatically selects the correct certificates for corresponding, right? So let's actually get into signing emails for our next task here. All right, so let's actually click new email if it wants to work with us today. Let's do new email. All right. So actually, let's do my signed email. All right, actually, I get a look at least somewhat professional. All right, and capitalize the S here. I want to send her the message. Hi, Lisa. How you doing, buddy? I'm coming to annoy you again. Let's see. GP. Actually, this here. Feels like I'm typing slow and fast at the same time. I don't know if it's the lag from the VM or anything, but nonetheless, so we're actually going to click here and we're actually going to sign, right? That's fine. This is fine. OpenPGP here. We see us as the administrator's test email address I mentioned, right? And we want our passphrase, which is what I created earlier, right? All right, perfect. So we can see that down here. So the certificate has been added to the email. So we're going to hit send. Oh, I actually need to put Lisa here, right? That would make sense. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. We got it. Let's verify. Both emails have been sent. That is definitely not what time it is. All right, so they've been sent off. So now we're going to take a look at our next task, which is going to be public certification or public certificate importation, rather. So I'm just going to import a public certificate. However, I have to change my user from administrator to Lisa Scott. So let's go ahead and minimize all of these great things here. And actually, I don't want to auto log in, which is what is typically set to. So let's get out of here. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So we're good to go here as far as being logged in as Lisa. So let's actually take a look at our Outlook here. Let's see. Should have just searched here. So should be back here if it's enough. Okay. Outlook, where are you, buddy? There. Guess I'm blind. All right. Yes, we do. Yep. Yes. Okay. Finish. It's all fairly quick. Yes. Ask me later. Don't care. All right, perfect. So naturally, what we're going to do, right? We're going to take a look at these emails. So the first email was pretty much already open for us. So let's just going to double click out so we can open up a new window. So we can see that the email, actually, let me go back to the first one so we can, I like being constant, I like being sequential. All right, so So the title or the subject rather, my OpenPGP, right? We can actually hit this and then save as, right? Then I want to save it to my desktop, right? Perfect. All right, and then actually, let's see. Actually, let me take a look. Install. Now we're going to open up Cleopatra. All right, so now what I'm going to do, right, now that I have it saved, I want to encrypt an email, right? So I got to first make a certificate for Lisa using Cleopatra, right? So first, let's see here. Let's open up this. Hey, Lisa. Test email address. Right. Nothing to see here, just like looking. Right, perfect. Details. Create key. Passphrase. Oops. Perfect. There we go. Right, so we don't necessarily need to make a backup key. No, we don't, but I mean, we can't, the purpose of the, not the purpose, but the lab won't really let us do it really and really want to do that another way anyway. So, so nonetheless, now we're just going to import the certificate, right? And then let's see, of course, naturally, that's where I put it. So we're going to open this guy. Perfect. So we've successfully imported. Now both certificates should be displayed here in a moment, but we successfully imported, or we have two certificates here. Should redisplay. It should be both here. Actually, close this out. Where is my certificate? Okay. Let's see. All right, so I see that, yeah, they're both imported. So we have Lisa Scott here, then we have our other or imported certificate from what we have through the email. So now we can move on to our next exercise, which is going to be OpenPGP verification, encryption, and decryption. This is so much fun. So a key part of OpenPGP, right, is encryption and decrypting the messages to protect against, folks who aren't authorized, right? So whether that's internal to a company or external from the company networks. What OpenPGP does, it provides an excellent method of using certificates to mask email content and even attachments, preventing them from being obviously viewed by unauthorized folks. So what we're going to do is verify first and encrypting some email, right? So to do this, let's take a look at the administrator certificate, if it lets me. Now I'm going to certify the certificate, right? And of course, this is typically used in situations where someone like myself would be confident or certificate owner and that they can be trusted. Well, it depends on how well I know it. Right. So let's actually certify certificate, right? All right, we verified the fingerprint. And let's actually that. All right, perfect. And we only want to certify for myself. Perfect. Certification successful. I love it. All right, so now we're just going to keep this up, and you can see that should be, there it is, trusted certificates. Now we can see the administrator certificate is added in addition to the Lisa Scott certificate being the trusted certificates for this particular server. So actually we're going to reopen Outlook, right? And we're going to form a new email. We're going to send back to the, actually, you know what? Let me not do that. I'm actually going to respond. Let's see, reply. Nah, new email is fine. I don't like the way it looks. All the jargon that I got in there. All right, so let's do administrator. Okay. All right, perfect. Now let's say hi, admin. I'm coming to annoy you back because you originally annoyed me with an email. As long as it wasn't a meeting, I guess. All right, perfect. All right, so let's attach the file here. And let's go to the desktop. Let's see. I'm going to do insert. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's insert. Then we're going to, let's see. Oh. Okay, I forgot to add, let's see, export Lisa's certificate. Let's do that here. Desktop. Come on. There it is. Should be done. All right, so we can now attach. Windows A7A. Naturally hers. This one, let's insert it, and then let's encrypt it, of course. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, encrypt it. All right, so perfect. All right, so let's hit send. All right, perfect. So I'm going to sign out of here now that I've done that. Actually, let me make sure it's been sent. Yep, we're good. So let's sign out of here. All right, now let's actually sign back in. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Let's actually bring this out. Right. Perfect. So we're actually should have why doesn't it have just sent it? I got no what it is. All right. There it is. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and decrypt it. Right. And now it should give us, there it is. Okay, so it's been decrypted. And we can decrypt this one also. No error. Probably because of the nature of the lab, but this is typically how it would work. Let's see. Actually, no. And let's do that. Perfect. All right, so now that we got the decryption succeeded, we can now use Lisa's certificate to send her encrypted messages. But nonetheless, that brings us to the end of this video. We've implemented some OpenPGP, some pretty good privacy, right? So just for a brief recap of what we've done, we installed OpenPGP. We used some certificate creation and distribution, some signing and importation, as well as OpenPGP verification, encryption, and decryption. This was very fun. This is so much fun that we're going to have even more fun in the next video where we're going to be doing some public key infrastructure concepts. Hope to see you there. Stay curious, stay secure.